How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Crypto Unveiled YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the one and only Flux. You can see the current price of Flux is currently set at just over 11 cents per coin. And if we look over the last month, look at the chart over the last month for Flux, you see Flux is actually down an astonishing 38%. However, this is, of course, it's a negative thing on the surface, I guess you could say. And of course, basically anyone who's investing in a coin, never wants to see their coin plummet. No one does. However, I don't believe this is completely Flux's fault. I believe it's just the market conditions we are currently in. And I believe that this is not a reflection on how Flux is going to be doing in the future, or the actual reflection of Flux itself, because I believe this is just the market itself. Over the last month, over the last few weeks to the last month, the market of cryptocurrency has been all over the place. And it has suddenly taken a massive downward spiral and lost a hell of a lot of money out of the cryptocurrency market cap. So I don't believe that this is too bad at all. And whenever I say this in most of my videos, whenever I see red on the charts, guys, a lot of people, I would say probably 80 to 90% of people are, they're selling their coins, they're getting out the coins. Whereas I believe, in my opinion, the smart people, if you are wanting to hold that coin for the future and you believe in it for the future, you would actually take this opportunity to actually buy more at a discount. So many people see it as a negative, whereas I believe, in my opinion, you should actually be seeing this as a positive. Like I said, if you want to hold this coin for the future for another few years, people will be seeing this as a great opportunity. And some people actually prefer when the markets are actually down, because like I said, they're actually able to pick up more of their favorite coins or stocks or whatever at a huge discount. And so that only means that once a coin does actually go eventually up, of course, it's not guaranteed, but we are hopeful that it is going to go back up again, you're going to see even crazier profits. You see the current market cap of Flux is currently set at just over $45.5 million, guys. Yes, $1 million. I believe this is extremely undervalued for Flux. I mean, I've talked about Flux many times in the past. And yeah, I just truly do believe that this is one of my top coins, which I believe are undervalued right now. I mean, Flux had an absolute crazy run up back in the past. You can see back in 2022, was this right at the start of 2022, end of 2021, you can see that Flux is actually sitting at just over $3 per coin. And you can see, compare that to what is currently at 11.5 cents. That is absolutely crazy, and it really does just go to show you how much potential Flux really does have. People will be looking at the chart now and be saying, oh, this was 3 years ago, Flux is now dead, this and that lot. I don't believe that this is the fact. This is a fact at all. I believe that it's just the market conditions in cryptocurrency over the last few years haven't been great, and I just really hope that we are able to see another massive bull run in the next year or two. And I believe if we are actually able to see another bull run, I believe that Flux is going to absolutely skyrocket when people start to pick back up on Flux and realize how truly undervalued this coin really is. You see the 24-hour volume, $5.46 million, actually up almost 100% on the previous day, which again, really nice to see. I've seen this a lot over the last few days. I've talked about Casper, I've talked about Cetus, and now I'm talking about Flux over the last few days. A lot of people are pushing volume back into cryptocurrency. The market absolutely plummeted, like I said, about 2 weeks ago, I believe, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It absolutely plummeted, and now you see a lot of coins actually getting a lot of volume, and you will actually start to see a few coins, I believe, to actually go back up when people are actually buying these coins, like I said, at a discount. And this is only gonna, just basically act as a bit of a catalyst for the market to go straight back up once again. Volume to market cap ratio sitting at almost 12%, which again is pretty high. This is of course because of the elevated volume being around 100% up. But even if we take away 100% of the last 24 hours of it being up, you see it's still been sitting around 6%, which again, that is very good as well. You can see the current circulating supply of Flux is just over 394 million Flux in current circulation, and you can see the max supply of Flux is 440 million. This is a really good circulating supply to max supply ratio, as it leaves a little bit more coins on the market to actually be released in the future. But if you were to invest into Flux today, you're not going to get too diluted when the rest of these coins do actually come onto the market. Let's now actually get into what actually is Flux, what is it all about, and why am I so bullish about Flux. So we are on the official Flux website, which is run on flux.com if you want to come check it out for yourself. And as you can see here, Flux sums itself up really nicely. Distributed Web3 cloud for many different features. Build and deploy scalable applications on Flux, a global decentralized cloud infrastructure for flexible and censorship resistant development. So this is the key point to take away from Flux. It is a global decentralized cloud infrastructure. So like it says, you're actually able to build and deploy apps on the Flux network using their ecosystem. As you can see here, their ecosystem is absolutely massive. It truly is expansive. It's got so many different things. You can see it's got Flux AI, Flux Edge, Flux Nodes, Flux Cloud. The biggest one that I believe, and the biggest selling factor behind Flux, I believe, now this is my opinion, and this is the biggest thing that got me drawn to Flux in the first place, I believe is Flux Cloud. You can see here, create, launch, and scale. Develop on native decentralized cloud architecture, providing customizable execution environments for secure and scalable on-chain developments. But, this is all well and good, talking about the Flux Cloud, all these different fancy words. But why would people actually use a Flux Cloud? So to sum it up, the most easy way is what I always tend to look at is cost. If you can get the same service as other companies are offering, but for a fraction of the cost, then why the hell would the companies not use this? Why would they not use this company which is cutting them costs? Because that is, if you bring business down to the very core factor of business, it is to make profit. People say, oh, businesses run for this reason, this reason, this reason. The main reason why business exists is to make sales, to make revenue, to make profit. And so when a company is actually able to offer the same service as another company, but for a fraction of the cost, it really is a no-brainer. And so this is what Flux is really, really good at. You can see here, cost-effective cloud computing. And when it says cost-effective cloud computing, it really does mean cost-effective. Like, it is crazy, crazy cheap. And I can't believe that Flux isn't bigger than it is right now, just from the fact of, like I said, boiling down to cost. It's just crazy to me. I believe that, once Flux does actually get its name out there and people start to realize how crazily undervalued Flux actually is, I believe Flux is going to absolutely skyrocket. So if we look over at Flux's services over here, you can see, if we switch down to the lowest one first, you can see here, Google Cloud for 8 gigs of RAM and 100 gigabytes of storage. Google Cloud, $176. AWS, almost $80. And Azure, $116. For the exact same service as those other companies are offering, Flux Cloud can offer the exact same service for $2.29. That is absolutely crazy, guys. I cannot emphasize that enough. We switch it up to the next one, 16 gigs of RAM, 100 gigabytes of storage, $4 compared to $300, $135, $233. And then the biggest one they offer, $7.62 compared to $600, $460, $247. That is absolutely unbelievable, guys. We are not just talking about these companies, using Flux to save a little bit of money. We're talking about, these companies using Flux and saving, like, it's crazy. I don't know what the percentage of that is off the top of my head. But what is that? Maybe that's like for Azure under 5%. For these other companies, under like, it's just absolutely crazy. Under 3%, 3-4% of the cost of these other companies, Flux Cloud can offer the exact same service. It is just absolutely crazy. And like I said, this is just one of the aspects of Flux. As you can see here, if we click on ecosystem, it's got many other different features towards Flux as well. So Flux Edge, Flux Nodes, Flux AI, Flux Cloud. I won't get into these other ones here. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to cover, do a separate video on covering these different ones about Flux. But yeah, the main thing which I'm drawn to about Flux is the Flux Cloud, because I believe this is their biggest selling point, and I believe that once people start to wake up and realize, how much potential Flux has, I believe it's going to absolutely go crazy. So what is my personal price prediction for Flux? Me personally, I believe Flux can easily do a 10x in the future. Of course, it's hard to say with the current market conditions when this 10x or 1000% gain is going to happen, in my opinion. But I believe that, like I said, depending on the market conditions, if we start to see another bull run, I believe that we could easily see a 10x. I mean, if we compare it just to the all-time high that Flux has already hit $3, you know, a 10x would be $1.10. That's not even, that's just around a third of what it did in the all-time high back in 2022. So it just goes to show, I mean, you know, a 10 to 30x could even be possible as well. But I always like to keep it on a little bit of the conservative side, but I believe 10x is very, very viable for the future of Flux. Apart from that, guys, I'd like to thank you very much for watching the video. Let me know what you think about Flux in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you do hit that like button as well. Apart from that, I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace.